Welcome to my channel Old Coins History. Here, we explore the fascinating world of coins, from ancient treasures to modern collectibles. Whether you're a serious collector, a beginner, or just curious, there's something here for everyone. Get insights on coin values, history, and tips for smart collecting. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. The 2 pence 2p coin of the United Kingdom from the year 2003, featuring Queen Elizabeth II, is a fascinating piece of modern British numismatic history that represents not only the value of currency but also the legacy of the British monarchy, the United Kingdom's decimalization history, and the coinage system that has evolved over centuries. To fully understand this coin, we must explore its design, history, composition, symbolism, minting process, circulation, collector value, and its place in the broader context of British monetary history. The 2 pence coin was first introduced on the 15th of February 1971, when the United Kingdom underwent decimalization, transitioning from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a more simplified decimal currency system. Before decimalization, there were 240 old pence in a pound, but after decimalization, the pound was divided into 100 new pence, making calculations easier. The 2p coin became one of the new denominations introduced during this historic change, and the 2003 issue continues this legacy. The original design of the coin remained unchanged from its introduction in 1971 until 2008, when the Royal Mint redesigned the reverse sides of UK coins. Thus, the 2003 2 pence features the classic reverse design used during this period. On the obverse front of the 2003 2 pence coin is a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who was the reigning monarch at the time. The portrait used on this coin was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, can be seen at the base of the neck of the Queen's effigy. This portrait was introduced in 1998 and is known for its realistic and mature representation of the Queen, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic crowns. Surrounding the portrait is the inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg Fid Def 2003, which is abbreviated Latin for, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription signifies her role as the sovereign and the head of the Church of England, a title passed down since the reign of Henry VIII. The reverse back design of the 2003 2 pence coin features the badge of the Prince of Wales, which includes a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below the plume is a ribbon inscribed with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design has deep historical significance, as it represents the heir apparent to the British throne. The motif was first adopted by Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century and has remained associated with the Prince of Wales ever since. Surrounding this central motif are the words, 2 pence, which denote the denomination of the coin. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, a renowned British coin designer, and it remained in use until the Royal Mint's redesign in 2008. The metal composition of the 2 pence coin is also notable. From its introduction in 1971 until September 1992, the coin was made of bronze, consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. However, due to rising metal costs, the Royal Mint changed the composition to copper-plated steel starting in 1992. The 2003 issue, therefore, is made of copper-plated steel, which has a distinctive magnetic property because of its steel core. This change helped the Royal Mint reduce production costs while maintaining the coin's outward appearance. The 2003 2p coin weighs 7.12 grams, has a diameter of 25.91 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.85 millimeters, with a plain edge. The minting process for these coins takes place at the Royal Mint, which has been producing coins for over 1,100 years. During 2003, millions of 2 pence coins were struck for circulation to meet the everyday demands of the public. The Royal Mint employs advanced machinery to strike each coin with precision, ensuring consistent quality and detail. Each coin begins as a blank steel disc, which is then plated with a thin layer of copper before being stamped with the obverse and reverse designs. Quality control measures are strict, and only coins that meet exact standards are released into circulation. In terms of circulation, the 2p coin is used in everyday transactions across the United Kingdom. It holds a value equivalent to 2/100ths of a pound sterling. While it may seem like a small denomination, the 2p coin plays an essential role in providing exact change for transactions, especially in retail settings. Over time, however, there have been discussions about phasing out smaller denominations like the 1p and 2p coins due to declining use of physical cash in favor of digital payments. Nevertheless, as of 2003 and beyond, the coin remains an important part of British currency. From a collector's perspective, the 2003 2p coin is generally considered common, as it was minted in large numbers for circulation. Its value is typically equal to its face value unless it is in uncirculated or proof condition. Proof coins are special versions struck with extra care and polished dies, often included in collector sets sold by the Royal Mint. These coins can be worth slightly more to collectors, particularly if kept in pristine condition. Error coins from this year, such as misstrikes or coins with off-center designs, can also have added value depending on rarity. The historical context of this coin is equally important. Queen Elizabeth II was Britain's longest reigning monarch, and her portrait has appeared on coins throughout her reign, which began in 1952. The 2003 coin represents a period of stability in British history, as well as the enduring tradition of monarchy and minting. It is also part of the broader narrative of British coinage, which dates back to ancient times when coins were struck by hand. The modern decimal coinage system reflects centuries of evolution in currency design, technology, and economics. The symbolism of the coin extends beyond its practical use. The obverse celebrates the continuity of the monarchy, while the reverse highlights the future through the symbol of the Prince of Wales. Together, they convey a message of tradition and service, key values of the British state. The use of Latin inscriptions connects the coin to a long-standing tradition of classical learning and heritage, emphasizing the deep historical roots of the British nation. By 2003, the 2p coin had already been in circulation for over 3 decades, making it a familiar and trusted denomination among the British public. Its design was so iconic that when the Royal Mint later redesigned the reverse sides of all UK coins in 2008, the original Christopher Ironside design was still fondly remembered by collectors and the general public alike. In summary, the 2003 UK 2p coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a small yet significant piece of British history. It embodies the story of decimalization, the heritage of the monarchy, and the craftsmanship of the with its copper-plated steel composition, classic designs by Ian Rank Broadley and Christopher Ironside, and deep symbolic meaning. The coin represents both the past and the future of the United Kingdom. Though common in circulation, it holds a special place in the world of numismatics as part of the rich tapestry of British currency, reflecting centuries of tradition and modern economic realities. For collectors and historians alike, it is a tangible reminder of the era of Queen Elizabeth II and the continuing evolution of British coinage. Next coin. The 2p 2p coin of the United Kingdom dated 1975, featuring Queen Elizabeth II, is a remarkable and historically significant coin that carries with it a deep connection to the history of British currency, the decimalization process of the early 1970s, and the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. This particular coin is part of the decimal coinage system that was introduced on the 15th of February 1971, a pivotal moment in British monetary history, when the United Kingdom shifted from its centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a simplified decimal-based currency. The 1975 issue of the 2p coin reflects the early years of this revolutionary change and is therefore a valuable subject of study for collectors, historians, and anyone interested in the evolution of modern coinage. The decimalization reform, also known as Decimal Day, marked the replacement of the complex pre-decimal system, in which 1 pound was divided into 20 shillings, and each shilling was further divided into 12 old pence, making a total of 240 pence to a pound. This old system had been in place for centuries and was notoriously difficult for calculations, particularly in trade, commerce, and accounting. The decimal system introduced a far more logical structure, with the pound divided into 100 new pence, making transactions much easier and aligning Britain with many other nations that already used decimalized currencies. The 2 pence coin was one of the new denominations introduced, alongside the 1 penny, half penny, 1/2 p, 5 pence, 10 pence, and 50 pence coins. The 1975 2 pence coin belongs to this first generation of decimal coins and carries the original reverse design that remained in use from 1971 until 2008. This makes the 1975 issue part of the classic early series that is highly regarded for its historic and aesthetic value. On the obverse front of the 1975 2 pence coin is a beautiful and iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the renowned British sculptor Arnold Machen. This was the second official portrait of the Queen to appear on British coinage, replacing the earlier youthful portrait by Mary Gillick, which had been used since the Queen's accession in 1952. Arnold Machen's portrait, introduced in 1968, portrays the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most famous and elegant crowns, symbolizing both continuity and modernity. The design is graceful and formal, reflecting the dignity of the monarchy. Around the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1975, which expands to, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, and translates as, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This title highlights the Queen's constitutional role as sovereign and her position as the supreme governor of the Church of England, a role she inherited through centuries of British tradition dating back to Henry VIII. The reverse back of the coin features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a heraldic emblem consisting of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath the feathers is a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. This badge has deep historical roots, tracing back to Edward, the Black Prince, the eldest son of King Edward III, in the 14th century. Since then, it has been the official symbol of the Prince of Wales, the title given to the heir apparent to the British throne. At the time this coin was minted, the Prince of Wales was Prince Charles, now King Charles III. The design is surrounded by the words, New Pence, and the denomination, 2 inches below the badge. The phrase, New Pence, was specifically included on all decimal coins between 1971 and 1981 to distinguish them from pre-decimal coins, which were still circulating in the early years after decimalization. Later, starting in 1982, the wording was changed simply to 2 pence. The reverse design was created by Christopher Ironside, a talented artist and designer chosen by the Royal Mint to produce the designs for the new decimal coins. His work on the 2 pence coin is admired for its clarity, symbolism, and timeless aesthetic, making it one of the most recognizable British coin designs of the modern era. The metal composition of the 1975 2 pence coin is bronze, consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color and weighty feel. The specifications of the coin include a diameter of 25.91 millimeters, a weight of 7.12 grams, and a thickness of 1.85 millimeters, with a plain edge. These specifications remained standard for all 2 pence coins until 1992, when the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel due to the rising cost of bronze. The minting process for these coins took place at the Royal Mint, which has a long history dating back over 1,100 years. In 1975, millions of 2 pence coins were struck for circulation, as the new decimal system was still in its formative years and the demand for these coins was very high. Each coin began as a blank bronze disc, which was then struck with the obverse and reverse designs under immense pressure using precision machinery. Quality control was rigorous to ensure consistency and prevent defective coins from entering circulation. Occasionally, minting errors such as off-center strikes or double strikes occurred, and these error coins are now highly prized by collectors. The circulation role of the 2-pence coin was vital in everyday transactions during the 1970s. In 1975, Britain's economy relied heavily on coins for small transactions, as debit cards and electronic payments were not yet common. The 2-pence coin provided a convenient denomination for pricing goods and services, making exact change possible in shops, markets, and public transport. At the time, its purchasing power was significantly greater than it is today due to inflation. For example, 2 pence in 1975 could buy a small piece of candy, a portion of produce, or contribute meaningfully toward bus fare. Over the decades, as inflation reduced the real value of the coin, its role in daily commerce shifted toward being used mostly for small change. From a collector's standpoint, the 1975 2-pence coin is relatively common in circulated condition because it was minted in large quantities. However, coins preserved in uncirculated or proof condition hold greater value, especially when included in official royal mint proof sets from that year. Proof coins were specially struck using polished dies and blanks to create a highly detailed, mirror-like finish, intended for collectors rather than general circulation. Additionally, the new pence inscription on the reverse makes the early decimal coins, including the 1975 issue, historically significant and attractive to numismatists. Coins with errors, such as misstrikes, blank planchettes, or incorrect die pairings, can be considerably more valuable depending on rarity and demand. The historical and cultural context of this coin is profound. The mid-1970s were a period of significant change and challenge for the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth II was well into the third decade of her reign, serving as a symbol of continuity and stability during a time of economic difficulties, labor strikes, and political upheaval. In 1975, Britain held a national referendum on whether to remain in the European Economic Community, EEC, which later evolved into the European Union. The 2-pence coin, circulating widely during this era, became part of the daily lives of millions of Britons, quietly witnessing the social and economic transformations of the period. The symbolism of the coin's design is equally meaningful. The obverse, with its regal portrait of the Queen, represents the enduring monarchy and the nation's constitutional framework. The reverse, featuring the Prince of Wales's badge, symbolizes the future of the monarchy and the service-oriented ideal embodied by the heir to the throne. Together, these elements express themes of tradition, duty, and continuity. The use of Latin inscriptions ties the coin to Britain's classical heritage and centuries-old numismatic traditions. In terms of rarity and value, most 1975 2-pence coins in circulated condition are worth only their face value due to the high mintage numbers. However, uncirculated examples, proof coins, and coins with unique errors can fetch higher prices among collectors. For instance, a pristine proof coin might be worth several pounds, while a rare minting error could be valued much higher depending on its uniqueness. One important distinction for collectors is that 1975 2-pence coins were not issued for general circulation in Royal Mint annual coin sets. Most were struck for circulation, but a small number of superior proof strikes were produced specifically for collectors, making those particular examples rarer and more desirable. In summary, the United Kingdom 2-pence coin of 1975, featuring Queen Elizabeth II, is a small yet significant artifact of British history. It represents the early years of decimalization, a transformative period in the country's monetary system. With its bronze composition, classic designs by Arnold Machen and Christopher Ironside, and deep symbolic meaning, it captures both the heritage and forward-looking aspirations of the nation. While common in everyday circulation, the 1975 2-pence coin holds lasting value for collectors and historians as a tangible reminder of the era's economic, cultural, and political landscape. Today, it stands as both a practical object of commerce and a piece of numismatic art, connecting the present to the rich traditions of Britain's past. Please like and subscribe to my channel.